Big deal.
Look at us.
Yeah. Yeah. So how are things going? Good?
Yeah, things are going well, man. Starting to get it back together after the holidays and all that kind of shit. I hope everyone had a good holiday. And I always get a kick out of the New Year's resolutions. Like everyone's got the, I need to drop 20 pounds or fucking whatever. Yeah. And then by the end of January, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember when I used to go to the gym regularly, there was a time when I went to the gym kind of a lot. And right after the New Year, place was fucking packed.
Yeah.
Everybody's New Year's resolution is get in shape, right?
It's an easy one.
Yeah, end of
you
January.
You don't have to think about that.
Yeah, end of January, fucking crickets. Nobody's in the place.
That's the thing. When your New Year's resolution is something you don't even have to fucking think about,
right?
You're probably so lazy that you're not going to fucking do it.
Yeah,
okay?
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Drunk on New Year's Eve night. This is the year I fucking whatever, right? And then like
I'm
3 weeks.
healthy tomorrow.
So, yeah, 3 weeks later, you're like, nah, I'm kind of set in my ways.
So, have been enjoying, or I'm looking forward to the first week of playoffs here.
Yes.
Wild card.
It is that time of the year. So. And Cleveland Browns fans, squad looks pretty tough, man. I mean, like I'm not even being a homer. Like the pros are saying the Browns are going to be a fucking handful. I'm a firm believer that offense wins you games, but defense wins you championships, and the Browns have got one hell of a D. So.
Yeah.
And I know how much you love the D.
I do love the D. I was gonna pull up the who's playing who this week.
Yeah. The only game that I know off the top of my head. I wasn't just looking
at my phone in the middle of a
podcast. No worries. You know? The only game that I know off the top of my head is tomorrow, Saturday, will be the Browns game at Houston, and the Browns are a 2.5-point favorite. Yeah, I hear that. What is that? Are we throwing some theme music in here that I don't know about? Is that your phone?
I don't know.
It stopped.
It's my phone.
That's awesome. The only game I know about for sure is the Browns are playing at Houston tomorrow, 4:30 Eastern kickoff.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm super pumped. I think the Browns are a 2.5-point favorite on the road. And for a Cleveland Browns and Ohio State fan, it's kind of a tough one for me because we're going against C.J. Stroud, right?
Yeah. Though I don't like the Texans. I like him as a player. Don't get me wrong.
He's had a hell of a year.
But the Texans organization has seemed
not a fan.
Like it just has had problems over the years.
Not a fan.
You know?
Not a fan. I do think CJ is an absolute lock for offensive rookie of the year. I mean, he's had an amazing season. So I'm happy for him because the Buckeyes have a kind of a thing about not putting good quarterbacks into the NFL. You know what I mean? We put a lot of people into the NFL, but not usually QBs and Fields.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, the Fields thing still seems to be. We'll see what happens.
Well, I decided it would be incredible for the Cardinals if the Bears decided to get rid of Justin Fields, because then they'd pick up a quarterback.
That's right. And so the challenge, if you want to get Marvin Harrison Jr., you need the Bears to take.
The other two are for sure taking quarterbacks.
Probably, yeah,
guaranteed.
Patriots
right? and. What, the Jets?
Oh, yeah.
No? Yeah, is that who it is?
Yeah.
So that would give us a chance of getting Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they might still take one because I still don't think there's a lot of faith in Fields.
Yeah.
Right? So they might still take one as like, hey, let's weigh the options here. You know, like I don't think that's a bad move for a team like that either. Like, obviously, I want that to happen for very selfish reasons for the Cardinals.
Right.
But I would love it if the Cardinals got. I mean, think about a rookie coming in and potentially being our number one receiver.
Oh, he would be.
Yeah, right now,
no matter what team he went to, he's going to be the number one receiver. Basically, I mean, my opinion, and I know that I'm a homer, but what everyone is saying is he's going to be a top 5 receiver the second he steps onto an NFL field. There's
potential. Yes, that makes in all ways. But things are, you never know truly what someone's going to do in the NFL compared to what they do in college.
Yeah, it's true. I think that I really feel like it's hard. It's like judging a Cleveland quarterback in the past. When the team is complete shit around them, they've got no offensive line, they've got no great wide receivers, they've got no great running game. Right. How do you judge them, right?
Yeah.
I feel that way about Fields.
I think Fields is a better quarterback than he looks like on paper. But at the same time, you got to win some fucking games too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what the Bears do. they've got a lot of draft capital.
Yeah.
The Bears can make some big picks.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Me personally, I want Fields to stay in Chicago. I want him to be successful there, and I want him to get weapons. But I also want Marvin Harrison Jr. to come to Arizona.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's not the weapon that we want to give him.
Right.
So sorry, Jasper, can't talk right now.
No, good. You prioritized the show over a phone call. That's good. That's
A
good
work
thing.
call.
That's a good thing. Did you look at the other games? You want to talk about any other games on the schedule?
Yeah, let's do that.
So, let's just start with this. Who's your pick to, who do you think makes the Super Bowl?
As much as I hate to admit it, I think the Cowboys have a chance. I think San Fran obviously has a really good chance.
I think that's the NFC Championship game I want to see is Dallas and San Fran.
I like the Dolphins. I think they're gonna. I think the Dolphins are gonna beat the Chiefs tomorrow.
All right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely more of a fan of the Chiefs than the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Though as a city, I like Miami a lot more than Kansas City.
Yes. If you said, if you asked me 6 weeks ago, I'd have told you that I thought Miami was going to win the AFC. Right. And then they've looked pedestrian in a couple of games and games that I really thought they would win. So now I'm kind of curious. I think the KC Miami game is going to be an interesting one. I also just think that Mahomes in the playoffs is a handful.
What do you think with the Steelers and the Bills?
Steelers have got some key injuries, right? I don't think what's his name's even starting at QB for them now.
Okay, so that's the Bills. That's
So
most likely the Bills game.
I like the Bills in that game, yeah. And that game's in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rams and Lions.
Detroit looks good.
I think Detroit's got that.
Detroit's really tough at home this year too.
And fuck the Lions or fuck the Rams. So
fuck the Rams. Yeah.
And then Eagles and Buccaneers.
Gotta like Philly, dude. Philly's they're experienced now. That team is solid, good defense. I mean, they're a well balanced squad.
But they've had the second half of the season has not looked great.
That's true too.
And I don't know if that's an organization, a leadership. I don't know what the fucking problem is there, but they don't look fantastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's funny we're talking about the NFC Championship game. We even mentioned the Eagles.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
That is interesting.
But
do you think the Browns can make any noise in the AFC, or is it typical Cleveland bullshit? They're going to get bounced.
No, I think they got a chance.
Think they beat Houston? They're favored on the road.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, that's a tough game, regardless. Houston, as much as I think that they're a horrible organization, they've done well this year.
CJ Stroud turned them around.
Yeah. I mean, but even the defense doesn't look that bad.
No, their defense is actually really good.
You know what I mean? It's a different team than what we've seen before.
Yep.
And whether that's just leadership from the quarterback position or did they make changes to coaching or the general manager or anything like that? Like as far as culture changes?
Yeah, nothing that I know of.
They had a culture problem before.
Yeah, nothing that I know of. If anyone knows what's going on with Houston's organization, feel free to leave us a comment here.
Leave us a comment.
I don't know. I can say that the Browns have got a ridiculous defense. We've got the number one ranked secondary in the NFL, which will challenge Stroud. However, Grant Delpit is still out. He's off of injured reserve, but he's not playing. And I just found out yesterday that Denzel Ward, our number one DB, got hurt in practice on Thursday and is questionable for the game.
I see the Browns and Houston being a low scoring game regardless.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it needs to be one if the Browns are going to win.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? They need to be able to contain that offense in order for them to win. Otherwise, they don't have a fucking chance.
Should we just talk about Joe Flacco? What a story that is, right? This guy's sitting on his couch halfway through the year doing nothing, and now he finds himself breaking Browns records, right? Leading a team into the playoffs. Yeah. Everyone feels great. I fucking hated him when he was in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, he's overrated. Fuck that guy. Like, I was all pissed. You know what I mean? Now I'm like, you're kind of my hero.
Yeah.
Joe.
It's kind of incredible. You thought your season was over.
What a story, dude. Like, the offense looks so good. We're paying this dude $2.5 million, and he's won more games now than Deshaun Watson has for $40 million.
It's fucking incredible. It's fucking incredible. You know?
It's absolutely nuts. I want to see how far this goes. 38-year-old guy who was sitting on the couch.
How nervous are you for next year if you're Deshaun Watson?
What do you do, though? I think his contract's guaranteed.
You got to hang on to him, right?
His contract's guaranteed.
That was the dumbest thing. What do you
do
then? Do you put fucking Flacco on the bench? After that?
I don't know. I think did Flacco sign for 2 more years, or were they just talking about it?
Why would they not sign him again?
You would think you would.
I mean, unless he's going to go somewhere else now. I guess he's got. I mean, because he could now. He's in position to. If he's on a 1 year deal, then he's got maybe Brown or Bears try to get him.
But you got like if I'm Flacco, what team am I going to? Every other playoff team has got a set quarterback. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you want to be in a spot where you're going to be the guy and have a great team around you, the Browns are the spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Name another team you'd want to go to that you think will make the playoffs next year that needs a quarterback.
Whether or not, but it's if the Browns can afford to pay him enough, because the guy's going to be worth some money now. I mean, even at his age, on a 1 year deal or 2 year deal, he's worth money now.
It'll be curious to see what they do.
So that is a risky one to pay him too much though because of his age.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, that was dumb of the Browns to sign Deshaun Watson for that much guarantee. It's like that's the same thing the fucking Cardinals did with Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Well, I think the Browns gave away 3 or 4 first round picks, and some other picks, and a grip of money, right? And then if you're going to start the year and tell me that Watson was going to get hurt, Nick Chubb was going to get hurt, we're going to lose both of our starting offensive tackles, and the Browns would still be the number one one wild card seed.
It's crazy.
It's fucking nuts.
The other thing that's crazy to me is what the fuck did the Bears give to North Carolina? To get their number 1 overall pick, because North Carolina seems to have nothing.
Who did they trade to them? Some sports nuts out there. If you remember who Chicago traded for their pick, let us know. I don't remember either.
Because you're just positioning yourself to be last again.
Yeah. It's true. And the Bears have a ton of picks, dude. Like they're going to be
that's an old school Arizona Cardinals move right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you know what number picks the Cardinals have? Because they have Houston's now going to be a shit
4 pick. And then Houston's going to be like fucking 13, 14?
Further than I would think further than that, they made the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. People are wanting them to lose, try to help protect that pick. If they win another playoff game, they're just going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. This last week of football went about as well as it could for the Cardinals pick. I mean, they went ahead and lost, even though it looked like they were going to fuck that one up and win.
To stay at 4.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle pulled one out of their ass in the last minute and then still didn't make the playoffs. Shout out to Seattle.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Seahawks.
You know, the other thing that we're not talking about is if you're Chicago with the number 1 pick and you're going to stick with Fields and don't need a QB, do you dump that number 1 pick and pick up a ton of draft capital?
That's, or for a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, just for someone who's proven in the NFL. I mean, that's not a bad move either.
There's several teams that we know want quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And if they're locked in on their guy and there are several teams picking, that's when you've got the most leverage to say, what is it worth to you to make sure you get your guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the other thing. I got a problem with, it's a deep quarterback class, I think, generally speaking, but is there a guy that's head and shoulders above everybody else? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Daniels from LSU, that won the Heisman, is a stud, but do you want a Cam Newton type of a guy? Or are you looking for a Drake May drop back passer kind of a dude? Right. I don't know. Man. It's going to be interesting.
I don't know. I know we need a fucking athlete in the receiver position.
You do.
Though.
You also need an offensive tackle. So I feel like if they can't get Marvin Harrison, I think that they go and get Joe Alt, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame. That's my guess on what the Cardinals do. It's going to be one of those 2 guys, I think. Alt should be available.
Yeah, but you think that's first round?
It's not a sexy.
That's a first round move.
A stud plug and play 12-year starter at offensive tackle is a top 5 guy. Okay. You know what I mean? I think Alt is that dude. Okay. But I think the sexy pick is getting a wide receiver in. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's way more fun.
That is more Cardinals style.
And you've got a really mobile quarterback in Murray, so it's give him some fucking weapons. Fuck the line.
Yeah. I mean, I was so excited about Hollywood Brown coming to the Cardinals because after what they did in college, him and Murray did what they did in college, and then he's fucking disappointment. Big time.
Yeah, they really need a playmaker, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Because we don't have, when we lost Hopkins, Yeah. I mean, and we had Hopkins and AJ Green before. Yeah. And even though Green was old, still good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Murray needs some weapons, man. It's going to be, I'm excited for the draft.
Green? Yeah. Green. Yeah. I got it right.
I'm excited for the draft. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Yeah. But yeah, so overall, the rest of the NFL season should be pretty fun, even though Cards aren't in it. We'll see how the Browns do.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Browns. Like, here's what I know about Cleveland, spending my entire life there. We love the Cavs. We love the Indians. It's a blue-collar sports town. And so there's, we love our teams, right?
Yeah,
and people in Cleveland have lived there forever. It's generations of, of diehard fans. It's not like out here where everyone's a fan of somewhere else, right?
Right.
But even as excited as the city was when LeBron delivered a championship for the Cavs, it will be nothing compared to what will happen if the Browns made a big run this year. Like if we made it to the Super Bowl, Cleveland is going to freak the fuck out. There's going to be riots. The city is going to burn. And if they somehow won the Super Bowl, Cleveland's going to sink into Lake Erie and just be erased from history.
Yep.
But it's such a football town and it's such a Browns town. If you saw the scene when they locked up the playoffs after that game, the entire city streets were packed. Like it looked like Mardi Gras. And they're just so starved to have some success with the Browns that if it somehow happens, it's going to be unbelievable. Flacco might get a statue in Cleveland if he fucking makes the run.
Yeah. No, it's there's a lot going on for sure right now. So transitioning away from NFL. What other sports are you excited about right now? I mean, basketball. I feel like we're not there yet. You know? Like I got to wait a few more months before I can get excited about basketball.
Yeah, it's like the season's kind of long, right? Like 82 games is a lot of NBA games. You know what I mean? I do want to see the Suns play together with a great starting lineup and actually start to develop some chemistry and get ready for the playoffs. Being a Cavs guy, it's still a really young team. They're inconsistent. I think they're a couple games over 500. I'm really curious to see how the playoffs come. I think that it's going to be tough to get past Boston, Milwaukee in the East, and I don't know how it's going to shake out in the West exactly. I'm always curious about the Lakers because my guy LeBron is there.
Yeah, makes sense.
And Anthony Davis, but they seem to be really inconsistent too. They can look dominant and then shit the bed for 4 straight games. It's weird,
Yeah. What is your so definitely shifting gears now. What is your thoughts on? Did you see the stuff with what Cat Williams said?
Oh, about people stealing jokes. You mentioned it to me, but I missed.
He literally called out every black comedian by name.
Really?
Other than I don't think he called Dave Chappelle.
Where did you read it?
It's all over social media.
You can tell Chappelle doesn't steal a fucking joke. He tells you stories. He's just a different dude. There's no jokes to steal. He's different. You know?
I mean, he said,
who all did he mention? Do you remember?
Specifically, Steve Harvey.
Okay.
Called out blatantly. Kevin Hart called out blatantly. Who else? There was a bunch, dude. Females to Cedric the Entertainer.
Wow.
Called him a talentless blob of shit or something like. I mean, he was ruthless. He was with that guy, the sports commentator, the black guy that talks loud. I don't, not Stephen A. Smith, but
I thought you meant Stephen A. Smith.
No, the other one. But he and that guy asked one question, and then Cat Williams talked for probably 2 hours.
Went off. I got to check out the interview. I haven't seen it.
He had a long monologue prepared. Here, we'll pull up some sound bites here.
Okay.
While we're talking about it,
can we get it? Can we put it on here? Is that too much of a hassle?
Well, I was gonna hold this up to the mic.
Okay.
So that we get the audio.
All right, that works
right away.
That works.
Yeah, we could, but that's
work.
That's gonna require a little more planning than just me randomly, pulling up TikTok.
Understood.
And let's see, Cat Williams interview. There we go.
Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made all lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show.
Yeah, this is when he's talking about Kevin Hart. Also, he did say that the same offer was made to him and Ja Rule at the same time, that they would give someone $200 million to make, and they'd get 20 movies out of it. And he said, but they'd have to shave their face and shave their head. And he said no, and Ja Rule said yes, and then he got Fast and the Furious.
Really?
That's what Cat Williams said. Yes.
And he doesn't strike me like a dude that would.
I don't think he's lying, but he does seem a little nuts in this interview.
there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
This is a good point, though, about Kevin Hart.
He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Wow.
He might not be wrong. I don't know. Like, there's, and it keeps going. I mean, like I said, it was like a 2.5 hour interview.
His documentary with
that's
Chris
the guy.
Rock, where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los
It's a
Angeles
good point.
doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
I don't think you do hate that.
But Justice Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, do you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same. They pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves. I can't do that because Steve told you that he stopped doing stand-up because he has 7 TV shows. Oh. The only problem is when he stopped stand-up, he didn't have those 7 TV shows. He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Cat Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people.
And he called him out.
Lost because Cat Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig. And I went in, and that's why he couldn't do stand-up anymore. Imagine him coming to tell you another story where he got so big, and it was Bernie and $50 million, and he turned it down. Who gonna turn down $50 million?
P. Diddy?
Now,
Called out P. Diddy?
Turned down $50 million 4 times. Just like people that tell you the Egyptians, they're not black. Egypt is in Africa, folks. As long as Egypt is in Africa, then Egyptians are African. In a whole different realm of business.
He was all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Chris Tucker.
Is Epstein Island.
I'm telling you, he called out every fucking person.
Damn, he put everyone on blast.
Yes. He didn't care.
A statement.
Anything that take over your free will is the devil itself.
Have you ever thought about what your life would have been had you stayed in Dayton, Ohio?
Oh, Ohio.
He's from Ohio?
Apparently. Dayton.
No, that's like asking somebody
No.
that's in the NBA for 14 years, like, what would have happened if you didn't come to the NBA? Oh, I shudder to think.
I'd have been working.
It was what I was made for.
Working
That's why people
at
believe
some
in
blue-collar
rituals
job.
like that. Is because, well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie. But I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with.
I'm lost
Cat
on it.
Williams.
I don't know who Money Mike is.
Nobody anything I took from
Because he
Dude, I can't believe he just blasted everybody, though.
Every fucking black celebrity.
I wonder what's going to come out
I
about
think
it.
he
I can't
talks
believe I
about
missed
Oprah.
all this.
He talks.
Oh, dude, you can't call it Oprah.
Everyone.
Fucker, you'll get killed.
Yeah, he talked about everyone. Yeah, that's like talking about the Clinton Foundation.
I was just going to say, like, you don't.
Yeah, fucking A.
Ugh, dude, that's crazy. Well, we'll see what fallout gets from that.
It's funny, though.
Balls to come
Entertaining,
out. Yeah, balls
right?
to come out and say all of that shit. Shit.
So, but there was one where, so what he talks about with Steve Harvey stealing his jokes, like he makes, I don't remember, a joke about fucking, some UPS joke. And it shows a video of him doing it, and then Steve Harvey doing it. And it was like, says the years, and his is like 8 years before. It's like, yep, he did.
So Harvey just thought it was long enough that no one would remember it.
I guess.
Recycled it.
That motherfucker remembered.
Well, do you remember when Rogan jumped all over Carlos Mencia for stealing his joke? And and it was
stealing
like,
everyone's apparently.
Yeah.
And he was getting big on it too.
Yeah, he did get big for a while, that's right. And now he's fallen off a cliff like you never hear about that, dude.
Ruined Mencia's career.
And evidently Rogan's done okay.
Yeah, seems like it. Seems like Joe Rogan has done all right for himself.
Jesus. So I was telling you that I'm going to be in Austin in February, I want to try to plan out where I can go check out Rogan's club. I don't even care who's there.
Yeah.
I just want to go see it.
The mothership.
The mothership. Yeah, I want to go check it out, man. I'm excited for that.
That does sound fun.
Yeah.
That's for work. You're going.
Yeah, in about a month. If I do get a chance to go to the mothership, I will for sure come back and chat about that in a future episode of.
I am going to Anthony Jeselnik on the 2nd of February.
I knew you were going to
at Celebrity Theater.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
Celebrity Theater is where everyone's filming their shows now.
Is it?
That's where Nate Bargatze filmed his show, his special, the most recent one. I forget what it's called. And
I thought Jeselnik did his show though at last time at Tempe Improv.
Oh, I'm just talking about where they recorded the episode that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
At Celebrity Theater. Okay. That's where Bargatze did his, and Segura.
It is a cool club.
It is a cool. Well, they like being. I think they like being that round stage where you're kind of, because Segura did his there just a couple of months ago too.
Yeah. It's a cool auditorium. So
yeah, I mean those are two big guys to record.
It's not huge, but it's
but it's a good seat no matter where you sit.
Yeah,
because it's in a round like that, so you're always close. And those guys just pace around and do their thing anyways. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, that should be fun. I think Jeselnik's hilarious.
Yeah, he's your style. I know.
I know you get tired of him.
No, I like. You know what's funny?
But it's one style that I like. You know,
it's he's good. His podcast is funny.
It's funny because in his podcast you can also see how much he is playing a character.
Yeah.
You know, have you seen any clips of Tosh's new podcast?
No.
Daniel Tosh?
No.
Yeah,
but I like funny. Tosh though.
Yeah, he's funny.
When I saw Tosh in Vegas,
he's still the same guy as he was on his show.
Yeah, he's no different.
But Jeselnik is clear. Like I said, I mean, when he's making jokes like, you know, that he was getting with a girl and he saw, you know, the butterfly on her tattoo on her back, and all I can think is how that's gonna look draped over my lamp. Because in that joke, I'm a serial killer.
He's awesome. What makes him great is you're going to get a weird, dark punchline 100% of the time, but then sometimes he'll still trip you up in what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's times where I'm forecasting what it might be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, didn't go there.
Dude, even the name of his one special, Fire in the Maternity Ward. You're just like, holy shit, dude. Like everything is, yeah.
Yeah, but he's funny. That is good for some good ridiculous laughing.
Oh, I bet you live he's going to put on a great show too.
Yeah.
Where is he at?
Celebrity.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
because he's a pacer.
Yeah.
He's a guy that he's like me. I walk around a lot whenever I'm doing shows. Yeah. No one paces. Chris Rock fucking prances around like he's like a lion in a cage.
You're hard to film. Like you're hard.
I move so much.
And really hard to cut into the verticals.
Yeah.
Like your shit's really hard to do because like I'm pause, split it.
I'm running around on the stage.
Yeah.
Try and catch me.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I did decide though for our stand-ups that we record, we need to start sitting closer.
Yeah. Okay.
For a few reasons. One, audio, because it's picking up all the fucking crowd. Right. And so the audio is really bad. On them, and then additionally, and the shot too. It's still capturing so many people in the shot, you know, stuff like that. So,
if you want to see the bad audio and how much I move around that Jimmy is talking about, that Beardo is talking about, go to the YouTube channel and check it out. You'll see me running around the stage, impossible to film.
Yeah. We need to start getting better about actually posting these things across other channels, not just YouTube too. Yep. But, you know, one step at a time. We're doing all right on YouTube. Channel's doing great as far as exposure goes.
Yeah. And let's just take a second to thank everybody who's been out there clicking the like button, subscribing, watching the videos of the podcast of our stand-up. Thank you. We appreciate it. It's growing significantly, and we want to keep that going, but thank you.
If you want us to make jokes about something on the show, fucking leave a comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
talk about them.
We've dedicated ourselves. We will respond to every comment that happens until it's impossible. So if you got anything, make fun of us. Find a topic you want us to talk about. Anything you want. Go back and forth with us on sports or whatever it may be.
Sports, comedy, make fun of us. We don't care.
We don't care.
You're not going to hurt our feelings.
And it's happened before.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So before the podcast, you were telling me, I don't 100% remember the story, but you were talking about how something from your past. You were telling Mario, actually. I was still getting the room set up in here. But you were saying something about that you had saved someone or something stupid. I don't know.
Dude, I have two of the craziest...
Sounded like a lie to me.
Dude, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I have two of the craziest stories to tell you. So legitimately, this is going to sound so dumb. I legitimately have saved two people's lives. I'll tell you both the stories really quickly. First time happened, I was in Cleveland, back home. I'm probably 25-ish years old. And in Cleveland, if you've ever been there to party, the little area where you party is called the Flats. And there's the river runs between the two sides, and there's lines of bars on both sides right on the water. It's really fun. And there's a guy that ran a ferry that would take you across to the other side if you wanted to go party on the other set of bars. So I'm walking up to this dude, and I'm like, hey, are you the ferry guy that takes everybody across? He's eating, I'll never forget, he's eating a Subway steak sandwich. And he gives me the, hold on a second, let me swallow my food so I can answer you thing, right? Swallows too fast and starts choking right in front of me on a piece of steak, which is one of the things that people choke on, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I'm just standing there and I'm drunk, you know what I mean? But my buddies are all way behind me. So it's just me standing there with this guy. And he gets red, and obviously he can't breathe. And he literally gives me the like, holy shit, I'm choking sign. And I'm standing like, oh my God. And I remember just grabbing him. You know, I knew enough about the Heimlich to put my thumb in his gut and just start squeezing. That's really kind of all I knew. And I blasted this dude because I was scared, you know what I mean? And so I crank on this guy, and it's like a movie. A piece of steak goes launching out of his mouth and freaks me out. And then he can breathe, and he takes this big gasp. I let go of him and take a step back like, holy shit. And he just takes a Tim Tebow knee onto the ground. And the first words were, I think you broke my ribs. I was scared. I squeezed the shit out of this guy. And but sure enough, he's like, dude, literally, I was terrified. You saved me. Thanks. And he gave us all a free ride on this thing. Some people ended up walking up right when this happened, and all of a sudden they were just like singing my praises. I was a hero, and these guys followed me around and bought me shots all night because they had seen what had happened.
That's a good night.
And it was pretty awesome.
Man, I just thought of a good way you could spin that into a stand-up story.
Yeah.
So you could start by talking about how you feel like choking would be the worst way to die. You know, horrible. So you were walking up to the ferry, you know, this guy's doing that, you know, and you know, he's the ferry conductor and this and that. And everyone, you know, you were nervous. And so you shoved him in the water because drowning's better than choking.
I like this, held him under, and there were no bubbles. He couldn't breathe anyways.
Figured I'd help him out.
I like that. That's a good angle. I like that. And then the other time was far scarier. I was at my buddy's house, and there were some kids playing around. We were in Tampa, Florida, actually, and they've got a pool in their backyard. And there's a bunch of young kids because there's some other friends over. And we're just sitting there having some beers on the patio, whatever. And I've got my back to their pool. And there's a reason this is important to the story. We're sitting like at a big outdoor patio table. And my back's to the pool. So they're sitting where they can all watch their kids because the kids are running
In-ground
around.
pool?
In-ground pool in Florida. And
in Florida. Sorry, I was thinking Ohio.
No, this is back in Florida.
White trash field. Well,
Yeah,
still
right.
white trash field, but different one.
Different white trash. White trash where you have in-ground pools. And so they're facing the pool so they can watch their kids, and kids are kind of running around doing their thing, and all the parents are good, and we're just sitting there talking, and I'm not thinking twice about any of it, right?
Yeah.
We're just sitting there dicking around. I'm just having some drinks with these guys. All of a sudden, I can't explain it to this day, I got this feeling of impending doom that I was supposed to do something. And I'm sitting there in the middle of a conversation. I just stopped. I get up and I look around the pool, and something doesn't feel right to me, but I don't know why. Now I'm sitting right up against the pool, and the deeper end of it is right here. I get up from the table. I take a couple of steps, and I look, and straight down, my buddy's brother's kid, who's maybe 2, is in the water, arms up, like dress floating, and I don't know how long she's been there, and no one saw it. So I literally just reached down, grab her. You know, she weighs 30 pounds.
Yeah.
Whip her out of the pool, and it's like a movie where she starts coughing up water, but she's okay. But it was so crazy because they were watching, didn't see it. I don't have any kids there. There's no reason for me to be paying attention or even notice. Yeah. But I turned around and pulled her out, dude, and it was freaky. Like literally a spidey sense tingled.
Yeah.
And I went and grabbed this girl and pulled her out, and it was obviously like a super emotional thing. I get emotional just thinking about how fucking scary that was. But there's no reason. There's just no reason. Like, it just wasn't her time, man. And so there's, you know, I just got used to get her out of there, and she ended up being okay. Like, it was scary as fuck, though.
See, I raised 3 kids with a giant pool in the backyard. And
Scary as shit.
So shit like that happened like weekly. Like
someone in the pool just floating around. You're like, God damn it,
pulling weeds or whatever, and they're riding their bikes.
There's a bobber in the pool.
They're doing laps around the pool and shit. And like, one of them, you know, their back tire of their little 3-wheel, not like a big wheel, but kind of, you know, the little trikes.
Yeah.
But they have the fat wheels on every one. And they were, and so one of them, like, their back tire went off and just like plunk. And it was like the winter time too. So I'm like, get up, you know, go pull them out. And then the next one, like literally 20 seconds later, the next one just doesn't even turn. Like, she's committing suicide. Like, boop,
off the cliff.
Damn it. And it's not easy to get those bikes out of the pool with the net, because I'm not going in there. It's too cold.
They were trying to get Dad's attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop weeding. I'm going to the pool.
Stop pulling weeds, asshole.
I'm going in the pool, fucker. Yeah, that shit's scary. Like, I mean, any place where you've got pools, you hear it, that's so tragic.
But it happens.
You hear it all the time.
No, I mean, my kids fell in the pool all the time. Yeah. I'd have a 3-year-old, right? And they're out there with me. So I'm not, you know, I'm not worried that they're going to actually drown or anything. Like, that's a pretty scary situation. But there, we had this little, at that house, we had this little, like, tile walkway. Not walkway. It was not a walkway, but where the water could flow between the hot tub and the pool, right? And, you know, a 2 or 3-year-old that kind of still walks a little wobbly, you know, decides they're going to walk across it. Yeah, dickhead, that's not going to work. You're going in. That slippery glass tile that you're walking across, that your clumsy ass is walking across.
Yeah.
You know, and then they'd fall in. I'd have to go in and get them.
God, that shit's scary with kids.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so that was just kind of a wild thing. I literally was tapped on the shoulder twice to save somebody, and it's just wild.
Yeah.
I still think about that shit all the time. You know, scary.
Yeah.
But I thought those were good stories. Yeah, and it makes me sound cool.
Yeah. Well,
and I'll take all the help I can get.
Yeah. I feel like stuff like that probably happens in Florida all the time, though. You know,
for sure.
Like I said,
usually it's probably just a drunk redneck that falls in the pool and drowns.
Florida is such a weird state.
Dude, they have the craziest news stories of all time, though. If you read a headline that doesn't seem believable, it always happens in Florida.
So I feel like if you don't live coastal southern Florida, your chances of you being weird are pretty high.
Pretty high.
Pretty damn high.
You don't think about it, but Florida is pretty southern rednecky outside of like Miami-Dade County.
It's the only place in the U.S. where you have to go north to get to the south.
That's true. It's weird. It is weird though, right? Like Miami it should be a separate state.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I mean, because like Texas, kind of, maybe, you know, because you get out towards Louisiana, it's getting a little more hick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida is a different beast. But then you get down to southern Florida, and it's like this Latin weird, you know, it's a different kind of weird.
Cuban, like very, And
Cuban,
then
Puerto Rican.
The Keys are kind of their own thing.
Yeah, like, Keys are their own thing. Yeah, that's a little different, you know.
Florida's a weird state.
And they got monsters down there with the alligators and stuff, you know.
Monsters.
Yeah, fuck.
Dude, those golf courses, you just see fucking gators just...
I saw a video with 2 giant gators fighting.
I saw it too.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
The golfers are like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like, let them battle, I guess.
Break it up.
Stay out of... Those are dinosaurs. Those are fucking dinosaurs. Get the hell out of the way, dude.
Monsters out here on the course.
Dude, like, and everybody gets a dog eaten in Florida. Like, you're going for a walk and then your fucking poodle's gone.
Well, and for a while I was like, who has swamps all over the place like this? But apparently Florida does. Every time I've been there, when I fly in, there's fucking swamps everywhere.
And monsters live in it.
Yeah.
No
swamps
chance.
with monsters.
I have no interest in ever being in that state again. I don't like any of the sports teams.
I do like Florida a lot, though.
I don't like Florida.
Really?
No. No.
Dude, like February in South Florida on the beach.
Yeah, like, okay, if you're talking about South, but you're talking about one very small piece of a big state.
You know,
like you get outside of Miami, do you give one fuck about?
Here's the thing. There's one very small piece of a big body here that is kind of the most important to me. So,
all right, fair enough. And it looks like the state that you're referencing.
It does.
Because Florida is the U.S. dick. If you look at it, it's just kind of hanging there off the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Keys would be at peeing.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't like the sports teams in Florida. There's just nothing appealing about that state to me. Giant fucking insects that look the size of birds.
Oh, fucking.
And humidity that makes me want to kill myself. Yeah. And
pythons.
Gators. Like, it's like our Australia.
Yeah.
Florida's like the U.S. version of Australia. Just monsters.
Gigantic iguanas.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
People with weird accents and monsters that will kill you. That's that whole state to me.
Yeah, you'll run into a guy with a southern accent, and then the next second have some, I don't know what you call him. Like, I was gonna say Guido, but that'd be Italian. But like the Cubans that are,
I don't know what you
Guidoed
call it.
out. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah,
that might not be the most politically correct way to describe it,
but I'm with you.
You know, I love them. I'm not, you know.
Right.
But it's a weird place.
Miami is a city that feels like it should be somewhere else, just like Austin in Texas. There's like Austin, and then the rest of Texas is completely different. You got liberal ass Austin, techie, the school is there, super liberal. The rest of Texas, ungodly conservative. We will just death penalty. You can own guns and go crazy. That's such a different.
Texas is a weird state too,
for sure.
But in Austin, there's a lot of shit on Austin with a lot of the liberal stuff, like fucking shit up too. Like
that's what I mean. Austin is so different than the rest of Texas.
Yeah, they're trying to turn that shit into California.
Maybe Austin and Miami should become something completely different, and then those states can go on being whatever the hell they are.
Something different in and of themselves.
Yeah,
like, independently of themselves.
Yeah.
What I do like about a lot of the Cubans down there though in Southern Florida is they're all fucking staunch like Republicans too. I mean, they're heathens, but they're pretty staunch Republicans as well. And I kind of like that.
It makes Florida a weird state. That's the best part of Florida to me.
Yeah. Well, because there's not up here. There's not a lot of we're in Arizona, and so there's not a lot of Latin people who would side with the Republican Party. They might like philosophically, but they will never vote that way.
But they do in Florida.
Yeah, but Florida,
it's so weird.
Yeah, like Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah,
he fucking loves Trump.
Yeah. South Florida does it. It's crazy. It is. It's wild. It's so different.
But yeah, shout out to Florida.
Yeah, go Florida.
So, we're at about 42 minutes. I think we're good. I mean,
that went fast.
I don't think that's a real 42. I think we're really at about probably 38, 39.
Yeah, which is good.
You know,
it was a fun episode.
Yeah, it was fun. So, all right, let's go ahead and sign off, and we'll get another one done here in another week or so.
Thanks.
All right.
Yep.
Bye.
Good job.
Bye.